Hey guys, Terry here. It's a beautiful day in Columbus, Ohio, and I wanted to talk today and just do a really quick video on using the right glue for the right job. So these are the different types of adhesives that I use. And then I got a new hot glue gun, and I want to show you the features of that little guy. But first, let's start with some of these things. And some of these are going to be common sense, but I just wanted to point out, things to keep in mind. So a stapler. I find a stapler to be handy when I've got to keep maybe something attached to my scrapbook page that's a little bit heavier and liquid glue maybe won't hold it. I also use it to tack down ribbon, and staples are also a nice little way to add some texture to your page too. So I have this little tiny stapler that I've had for years, and I usually keep a little box of staples with it. So I love to take that to crops and have it with me for my scrapbooking. Scotch tape is also handy. So when I'm making cards, I use Scotch tape. If I stretch a piece of ribbon around a card, I will use tape to hold that ribbon down. Sometimes when you use liquid glue on the ribbon, it'll kind of show through the ribbon. So it's nice to just stretch that ribbon around the back of your top layer of your card and tape it in place. I also find this handy to use when I'm taping cardstock to my Cricut mat when it loses its stickiness. So I always have Scotch tape around. Fabric glue is very handy. So there's times that I either need to dab a little of this on to keep the end of a ribbon from fraying, or that I simply want to glue some fabric together. So this stuff works really well. So I recommend having some fabric glue on hand if you work with fabric. Glue dots. Glue dots are handy because they are a nice little clump of glue, and they come in various different sizes. They're small, medium, and large. I think these ones are small, but they are nice because they are super sticky. So they're great for holding something like a button that might be a little bit heavier than what the liquid glue would hold. It's also a convenient way to tack down stuff. So if you've got tied letters in your title that you want to just tack down quickly, you can use glue dots. So they're very handy. And then I think the most common thing I use is the tape runner, and I love the Tombow tape runner. I've got a handful of the dispensers, and then you just pop the new refill on it. And I usually buy these in bulk and then get them for a couple dollars each. I think they have 34 feet on them. So I find that and I buy the permanent. It's not permanent when you put it on right away. You've usually got some time to unstick it and stick something down. So that's usually what I use in my scrapbook. And then for card making, I like to use the Tombow liquid glue. And there's times in my scrapbook that I might add some glue to something to keep it in place too, besides the tape runner. So I like this glue. This version of it seems to have a little bit less water, and when you put it on, just squeeze it just enough to put a nice thin line on, because your cardstock will warp if you get too much on it. So I love the liquid glue. So these are probably my most common things. So now let me open up this new hot glue gun. It caught my eye because it has a stand, and then it's got a nice silicone mat, because we all know that the glue gun will drip a little bit when that glue starts getting hot. So let's open this up and see what this one's like. I have a less expensive one, but I really like that this came with the stand and like I said, the silicone mat, and then also it came with a good bit of, I think it came with 30 sticks of glue, and I had not really been familiar with glue that has a color to it. So let's get this out and play with it and see what this is like. Okay, so here's what all comes with this glue gun, and I'll have links on my website to this new product here. But I think I forgot to mention why you would use a glue gun. So there are times, and for example, I cut this on my Cricut here. I went into Design Space and I found a flower pattern. I just searched for flowers and found this, and I cut it on some medium weight cardstock. And this is one of those where you, I think you curl it. Let me curl it on one of these here. But you curl this up, and then liquid glue, tape runner wouldn't work. Possibly glue dots, but you might not be able to see where you're gluing. But a hot glue gun, what's nice about the hot glue is it gets hot and melted when you plug it in, and it will dry quickly. So you can hold it in place for a second or two. You have to be careful that you don't burn your fingers because the glue is very hot. Take this out now. But the idea is that these are very tricky to glue down with some liquid glue. You'd have to sit there and hold it all day. So the flower pattern is such that you put your hot glue here, and then you dip this down in it and you hold it for a second, and that will hold your flower in place. So let's give this a try. So the glue gun came with this really good instruction booklet, and it says for step 1 here, notice the stand. I like the stand. It's got some suction cups, so this thing is not going to fall off of your desk. It's got a silicone mat that comes off for cleaning, and that holds in place. And it's got a handle here that is good for holding the gun in place. And it looks like the way the holes are on here, this simply snaps in. Get that out of the way. So this goes down inside, snaps in. Oh, and let me tell you, these suction cups are working very well. So love that. I did not know that was on there. So love the suction cups. And then it looks like this goes into here. I'm not sure if there's a right way or a wrong way. So I'm going to take a guess. Looks like I could probably pop it out and turn it around if I do it the wrong way. Let's see here. I don't want to break it. Come on. Pop up in there. There we go. There we go. Looks like that folds flat or pops out. That goes in there good. Okay. I did notice the instructions did not talk about putting this on. So maybe you don't put this on if you're going to just use the holder. So let's try taking that off now. This is how you learn. Yeah, so that goes better in there without the kickstand. So I think they're having you decide, I do see here on the questions, decide if you're going to use the little kickstand or the holder. So let's use the holder, and I'm going to plug it in so it starts getting heated up. I like that there's an on-off switch on it. Usually you just plug it in and it's on. I would not recommend leaving it plugged in. Things that can get hot can have a way of turning themselves on, so for safety's sake, unplug it when you're not using it. So I've got a plug right here. Okay, turn the on switch. So there's a little green light that turned on. And remember that this tip is going to get hot here. Okay. So if I go back to my instructions here, We put the holder in the base. We can insert a thing of glue. Push that all the way down. Plug in the power and turn on the switch. And then preheat for 2 to 5 minutes. And then start your project. So the gun is very light. It fits in the holder snugly. I like that. It's not going anywhere. You're not going to bump it. And then you're going to squeeze the handle to ooze the glue out of the end there. So let me come back when this is heated up. I don't see that there's any kind of... Be interesting to see if the light changes when it's warm. But I'll give it a couple minutes to warm up. And I do love that it's got the silicone mat, because that's usually the problem. You've got to have some place on your table to make sure you're not oozing that glue out. And then this is something that I'm just going to have to play with and see what these are like, because it's so cute that they have glitter in them. Came with 2 sticks each of 5 different colors. So how fun is that? I'm sure it's going to look like the stickles. So that would be fun to make little squiggles on your projects, or something to highlight with glitter. So that's really cute. So let me come right back when it gets heated up. Okay, I've got my flowers ready. I decided to get out my glass mat just because I didn't trust myself from getting glue on my desk. So I have a glass mat down, and the suction cups are sticking to that mat, so I like it for that. And then I've rolled some of my flowers here. It's just a matter of cutting it on your Cricut and twirling that around a pencil. I twirled it around a glue stick, and then we're going to put the hot glue on there and then hold it down. So let's give this a try. Okay. There it is. They make little silicone little finger little things for your finger, like a thimble made out of silicone, and that protects your fingers from the glue. I'm just going to keep my fingers away from the glue. So I'm simply pushing down the petals into the glue and giving it a minute or 2 to harden. The bottom is warm. But isn't that cute? I haven't made these flowers in eons, but the idea is that you put it on that flat bottom and do that. Let's do another one here. This one's wound a little bit tighter. Let's get it tight there, get the petals in the middle. Turn towards the middle there. And then we'll get the glue on here. The glue is not dripping off the gun, but if it would hit the silicone mat, so I like that. It's a little tight in the holder, but I do like that the holder is suction cupped to the table, so that works well. So I'm just going to push this down into the glue. The glue is very warm, so let me do it this way again. Push it down into there. And I'm just holding it till the glue cools, and then it'll be attached really well. Okay, the glue is drying clear, so you really can't see it very well. You know, it doesn't show up on the project in a bad way. So I like that. Let's do one more. Now I do see that the glue is starting to drip a little bit from the nozzle, but again, that's why we have the silicone mat, so I like that. Let's do this one a little bit looser here. It does sit down inside that handle here, so it's almost like it's this piece that's catching on it, so I don't know whether I've got it inhering correctly or I'm pushing it down too far. But you do need to kind of tug it out of there a little bit. I guess it's good. It's not going to go anywhere. But like I said, remember that the glue is hot. And sometimes there's those loose strings. When those cool off, you can just pull them off. You can cut them with scissors too. And like I said, just remember that that's hot. And just push your flower petals down inside that glue. Dries pretty quickly. You can kind of tell if you let go and see that they're not sticking in there yet. I think it's better when you tighten the petals on that circle like we did on this one. But I really like it. I think it's a very handy tool. It's small and compact, so it'll go in the drawer nicely, and that works well. So let's remove this one. Let's pull this glue stick out, and we'll put in one of the colored ones. Let's put in one of the purple ones. Ooh, got a string here. Let's put in one of the purple ones and let it warm up here. I'm just pushing it down so that I guess it has a lot of the clear glue loaded down in there. Maybe we'll do one more flower here. Cricut Design Space has a ton of images, so there are a lot of these flower images out there. Alright, let's do another dollop on here. Oh, there. I think I see the red coming out. There we go. So I'll push it down in, let it loosen a little bit, and then hold it down in. Sorry, I think I was off the camera. Cute. As you can see, you get better with practice. Okay, let's see if we can get the purple to ooze out here. That is hot. I had my hand under there. There we go. Now the purple's starting to come out. Very cute. All right, now I'm just messing with it, but it works really well. It is warping the paper a little bit because it's hot, and that's just the moisture in the glue. But it dries very quickly, and the glitter is just really cute. I have never played with glitter hot glue, so I'm sure there's some cute, fun school projects to make with that. Oh, real quick, there's one more thing I want to tell you about. This is the glue that's down in the silicone mat, and I just lifted this apart and this came right off. So very easy cleanup on that little holder there. So I highly recommend this brand of glue gun. It's called Monvict. And like I said, it came with sample glue sticks, and you can buy other ones. And the wattage is 40 watt. I know that there's more professional level ones. There's also battery operated ones, but this is just a nice one for a crafter to have close at hand. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.